Coming into college, I was very unsure of what I wanted to study. However, after speaking to my career counselor, she helped me realize my path was in communication studies. One of the best classes I have taken so far has been an introduction to interpersonal communication. I have learned multiple skills to help me become an excellent communicator. For example, it may seem obvious that we must communicate with one another, but do we really know the reasons why we do so? This course helped me think beyond the basics and realize the genuine reasons for communication, including physical needs, practical needs, social needs, and identity needs. In short, communication is truly essential for human life. Furthermore, I also learned there are a plethora of different factors that can interrupt communication, such as an environment and various types of noise, such as physical, psychological, and physiological. Communication can also be interrupted by language barriers and cultural barriers. Speaking of culture, I also learned about collectivism, individualism, high context, low context, and power distance. Cultural differences impact how people interact with one another, and thus their ability to communicate effectively. This is only a fraction of all the topics I learned about this semester. Everything I have studied throughout this course is applicable in my daily life. In fact, I have already seen a lot of change in my personal life because I have started to incorporate these new skills. For example, I know I have started to be more mindful of my nonverbal communication because I know it is ambiguous and can easily be misunderstood. In my college courses, I am sure to show I am listening with my face and eyes as well as my body language. With my friends, I am mindful of how my voice's volume, tempo, and tone affect my message. In addition to nonverbal communication, I apply listening styles in my daily life. After reading Chapter 7 in our textbook, I started to analyze my family's listening styles. My Nana is a relational listener because she truly cares for my feelings and provides thoughtful feedback. On the other hand, my Pap is a task-oriented listener. He cares more about accomplishing the task at hand and values organized conversations. By knowing different listening styles of my family members, I am able to decide which person I come to for certain needs. For example, I do not come to my Pap with my emotions when I need comfort because I know he will only ask what we do about it instead of providing me the emotional support I might need in that moment. In terms of the future, communication skills are essential for any career. However, for my specific path, I will have to utilize impression management. The way I act in my home and around my friends is much different than how I will act in the workplace. My future employer will see my presenting self because it is a professional environment. My coworkers will see this also until we are on a personal level. Likewise, other relationships I have yet to make will see my presenting self as well. I will utilize face work to maintain the image of myself I want these individuals to see until they are able to discover my most authentic self. I will also apply the skill of managing my emotions in the future. Acting without thinking is not a good way to control my feelings. I now know how to recognize activating events and decide how I want to feel about it, rather than letting my emotions take over. This skill is useful in the workplace, at home, and all places alike. People everywhere can make a difference in their own lives if they use the skills taught in this class. A key skill anyone can utilize is the art of listening. Being an effective listener can solve multiple problems in communication. Simply knowing the difference between hearing and listening is huge in itself. Furthermore, knowing the different types of effective responses, such as asking questions, paraphrasing, and empathizing, can also change the norm. Yet another way people can make a difference in the world is knowing how to manage conflict. The process of conflict management, explained in the textbook, can help prevent issues in many different situations, ranging from in neighborhoods and cities to grocery stores and the workplace. A small dispute between citizens can be assessed with this method, starting with defining each other's personal needs at the start of the conflict. A larger disagreement can focus on the fourth and fifth conflict management steps, which are finding solutions and evaluating them. Using all steps of the conflict management ensures the best ending possible for both parties involved. Everyone can use this particular skill to their benefit. In fact, everything this course teaches is highly useful and applicable in the real world. I know that everything I have learned in Mr. Mike's class will continue to aid me in my future endeavors.